Hello everyone and welcome back to Lucky Loaders 15, where I'll be giving you three selections for tomorrow's racing. Now for our first tip tomorrow, we go over the RSC for the reorganised card at Navan. We're going to be going with my Longshot in the 220, which is the Grade 2 Boyne Hurdle. I'm going to take a chance here with Ashdale Bob, who's currently available at 15 to 2 with SkyBet, who offer him 5 places on this race. I'm going to recommend a 0.5 each way selection. Now this horse, Ashdale Bob, I thought he actually shaped with encouragement last time out when he finished third in the Goulmoy Hurdle at Gorham Park on Thyestes Day. He shaped well for a long way, but in the end he probably just didn't get home over the 3 miles, and he should be suited by the return to this 2.5 mile trip. Now earlier this season, you have to say he wasn't anywhere near his hurdling form as a novice from last season. He'd fallen on one of his starts and then he was well beaten. I just don't think chasing is going to be the making of him, and I think going back to hurdles probably is going to be the way forward for him for the rest of the season. And he, like I say, shaped with encouragement and probably received a confidence booster as well. But I think if you go through some of his form last season as a novice hurdler, he could have a bit more to offer. He won a Grade 2 at Ferryhouse at the meeting there in April, and that was over 2.5 miles. And he has been a bit of a quirky horse at different stages in his career. He's been maybe a bit lazy. Sometimes he's been a bit keen. But I think in this race, there's not that much depth to it. And Ashdale Bob, he's yet to really been tried and tested against some of the elder horses. And I just think at 15 to 2 tomorrow, I don't think he's a bad each way price, and he's more than capable of going close in this race. He's got a good record at the course as well. It seems to be his cup of tea. Yes, Jessica Harrington's team haven't been in the best of form, but I think some of their horses have been running okay. Size and Potsy ran okay for them in the Red Mills Chase, I thought, the other day at Gorham Park. So I think there's quite a bit to like about his chances tomorrow, and I'd be disappointed at least if he couldn't give us a good run for our money. So Ashdale Bob it is. He's going to be my long shot of the day, and hopefully we can get off to a good start. We then go with my nap, which runs at Taunton in the 305, and that's going to be Premiumaccess here for Brendan Powell and Colin Tizard. Currently available at 7 to 2, and I'm going to recommend a 1 point win bet here. Now, this horse, Premiumaccess, is quite an interesting horse, and I think he didn't shape too badly when he finished third on his seasonal return at Fontwell a couple of weeks ago. That was over 2.5 miles. He probably just found it a little bit more on the sharp side and probably needs a little bit further. He was actually dropped £2 for that run down to a mark of 115, which I think is actually fairly generous by the handicapper. Now he is still £5 higher than his last win, which came at Huntington last year on his chase debut, but I think he just suffered it going up a little bit in the weights. Then he ran some consistent races. He finished second at Wincanton a couple of times, and I just think now he's down to a workable mark. And what's different this time than last year is that the Tizards are starting to be amongst the winners again. They've had a good spell over the last couple of weeks. The horses are running well, and I just think Premiumaccess, he's down to a good mark now, and I think he could be ready to get his head back in front. This doesn't look the particularly strong race. He's probably going to be ridden handy as well, which you want to be at Taunton. You don't normally want to be coming from too far back. The ground should be in his favour as well. He's pretty versatile ground-wise, and I'm sure he had lots in his favour, and that's why he's going to be my nap of the day. We then go with my next bet, which runs in the 340 at Taunton with a horse called Ajero for David Bass and Kim Bailey, currently available at 13 to 2 in most firms. And I'm going to recommend a small stakes each way bet here, 0.5. Now, this horse, Ajero, is quite an interesting horse. He's coming off here off a short break where on his first couple of starts this season he didn't show much, but I just think the break might have done him the world of good. He won after a similar kind of break last year at this time of year when he went to Huntington, and he won. He beat some decent rivals, and then he went to Huntington, and when he was odds on and he hacked up there, beating some decent horses. He then went on to run in a Grade 1 Thaintree, where he just was never up to that standard, but back into handicaps now for a mark of 134, which is his last winning mark. I think it's definitely eye-catching. I don't think actually this is a particularly strong race for a Class 2 handicap. I know you've got the likes of Langer down in here, but I don't think they would want to be blowing their chances by winning this race. They probably just want him to run a nice race, maybe get dropped a pound or two, because they've probably got bigger targets coming the festival, and maybe even might take in the Imperial Cup on the way, like they did last year. But Ajero, I do think he's got a good chance in this race of outrunning his odds. Kim Bailey's well, they're stable, coming into a little bit of form. Two for Gold ran well for him at the weekend at Ascot, which as well they had a horse run quite well for him at Carlisle today behind Bavingdon Bob, who's a smart improver. So I do think there's quite a few things to like about this horse's chance tomorrow. I'll be disappointed if he couldn't give us a good run for his money. So that's why he's going to be my next bet of the day in the 340 at Taunton. So they're the three selections then for tomorrow's racing. I know it wasn't the best of weeks last week after what looked like a good start, but yeah, it's not been the best of times over the last few days, but that's the way it goes after our good spell earlier in the month. But hopefully we can bounce back and have a good week and give you some winners tomorrow. So if you haven't done so already, like I say in every video, please hit the thumbs up button and subscribe here to my YouTube channel at LuckyLoaders15. If you want to follow me on social media, you can do, where my handle is at LuckyLoader15. Same name on Instagram as well if you want to follow me on there. And also as well, please remember to gamble responsibly. Obviously, always gamble within your means. So yeah, that's all I've got to say. Hopefully we can have some winners for you tomorrow, and we'll be seeing you again soon.